大家好，我是叶肉迷，欢迎回来巫师3。那么我们
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive and the victim of a curse, was the key to finding the young woman.
没错，接下来我们就要去找乌玛啦，又要回到威伦了。不过在回去之前，我们的昆仑牌任务依旧有新的区域，对，要做可以去做挑战，所以接下来我会去用，应该说我就会去继续打昆仑牌，对，等昆仑牌其他的支线任务结束后，才会再继续去找乌玛，没有错呢。所以我们。对，因为上一集这边结束之前，啊，旁边是有一个其余的支线任务，所以我们就来看看吧。
Yes? What do you seek?
Kind old geezer I just saw you talking to. Who was he?
One of our circle? Gremist? An exceptional alchemist, but a stubborn mean ass.
Well, been around sorceresses my share. Long enough to know that with great enlightenment comes even greater arrogance.
But sorceresses welcome apprentices, am I right? Not Gremist. So many formulae in that head. So many methods of ingesting and absorbing lethal toxins. But he'd rather take them to the grave than share.
Why is he averse to having an apprentice?
How should I know? Perhaps because he's a stubborn mean ass.
Fruit of ground ivy, leaves of bitney, mashed with hyssop pollen. No, hyssop. Gridless, yes, gridless, or henbane, 2 inches.
Want to talk to you.
But I do not wish to speak. Leave. You distress me.
You seem a nice enough guy.
Well, I'm not. I plan never to be. I became a druid to avoid others. To not have to deal with them. Not to smile when I don't wish to feign compassion when someone's travails matter less to me than a pair of birch cones. So I shall be straight. Get out of my sight, before something, I know not what, deprives you of yours.
I want you to share your knowledge. Teach me alchemy.
You? My apprentice? That's rich. While you're at it, why did you ask Uderic if he'll share Spickerog with you?
I'm serious.
That's so. Don't make me laugh. I've devoted my life to alchemy. Son, literally. Spent countless days and nights with nothing but alembics, choking on fumes, scorching my skin with acids. If you think I'll simply portray to you what I learned through years of sacrifice and toil, then you're mistaken. Deeply.
Can I convince you somehow?
Oh, gods. You're as bothersome as a gadfly before a storm. Though I am preparing to perform a rather tricky ritual. So I could use some help. Even yours. I require 3 favors. Do them for me, and I shall accept you as my apprentice.
Well, well, there's a way after all.
Get off your high horse and listen. First, you must bring me a pimpernel from the Muskogan forest. Second, I need a bottle of spirit from the old distillery on Hale Hill. Finally, convince Fridtjof to help me perform the rite. He's a druid like I am. You'll find him near Blandara. I believe he's there on a matter of some import. So, what will it be?
This Fridtjof, who is he?
The Vadermaker, huh? You don't know the word, do you? And I pledge to make you my apprentice. A Vadermaker is a druid who can manipulate the weather, stop a storm, cause hail, make lightning turn your enemy to ash. I advise to address him with the utmost respect, if you value your life.
Spirit. Why do you need that?
As you must know, potential apprentice, alcohol is the base for all potions. Superior alcohol means a higher quality potion. This spirit has no equal. Its strength, its flavor. Unfortunately, the distillery atop Hale Hill has fallen into disrepair. We've lacked a source ever since.
没错，炼金的底材就是酒。
You're so confident.
我们自己就知道。
A pimpernel. Far as I know, it's got no use in alchemy apart from...
Would you teach your grandmother to suck eggs? It's not any pimpernel, but the one that grows in the Muscodin forest. And if the rumors are true, a creature jealously guards all the herbs growing there.
Forest creature jealously guarding some secrets? Sounds familiar.
听起来很熟悉啊。
All right, I'll do it. But this ritual you want to perform, what's that about?
If you wish to be my apprentice, you must stop asking questions. I decide what to tell you and when to do it. Now go, chop chop, before I change my mind.
好，OK。这样的话，我还蛮想给你一个亚克西的。唉，接过去吧。
Once I begin, you must all enter your homes, shut the windows, lock the doors.
I don't like this. Shouldn't be risking your life for us. We'll do as you say.
You Fritjof?
That's right. And what do they call you, Witcher?
Me? Drifter, stranger, mutant. Sometimes even by my name. Geralt of Rivia.
Ha! A man with a sense of humor. I like that. Well, what can I do for you, Geralt of Rivia?
Gremist wanted me to summon you. Need you to help him perform a ritual.
A ritual? Will this one stop him from being a mean old goat? I would go see him, for old time's sake, but I've more important matters on my mind. Look about you. The ground. See how dry it is. It's not rained for weeks. The grass and pastures has withered. Sheep are starving. I must bring rain, but fear that... Wait just a moment. Perhaps you can help me.
How? I'm a man of many talents, but manipulating the weather's not one of them.
I have in mind a different skill, involving your sword. You see, Mother Nature dislikes it when you take something from her by force. She will defend herself. So fiercely, in fact, that I could use a defender myself. What do you say?
Sure, I'll help. Provided you go see Gremist afterwards.
Agreed. Now follow me. Time for a little storm.
Animal sacrifice?
Should we burn folk at the stake as they do on the continent? Better a sacrifice of goats and sheep, I think.
行，真的。
Skooka Svarm Fatna Hala!
It's starting.
它不就只是只小巫妖？等一下，小巫妖是什么？哦，对不起，我已经忘记了。OK， 好，不是死人。 然后看到不是10人就是那个了。我错，我错。
Storm, damn it.
Oh,
I've not managed a storm that fine for ages. Did you see the drops? The size of eggs.
A little busy tending to the foglets. They weren't small either.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately,
也不会
they
小。
always emerge. But perhaps that's for the best.
For the best. Why?
If manipulating the weather carried no risks, it'd not give me peace. Make it rain, make the sun shine. Some would want storms, others a sea calm as a pond frozen over. This way folk petition me only when their need is great, not because they've had a whim.
I get it. There are times I wish I didn't have to chase this necker or that drowner. Will you go see Grimace now?
With pleasure. After a storm of those proportions, I shall gladly have her to help him with his ritual. Till then.
嘿，这场暴风雨啊，没问题呀、嘿嘿嘿。可怜，可怜的羊。OK， 那我们就去下一个，然后给大家看一下，我稍微晃了一下，对，我把一些东西稍微晃了一下，我打算开始研发出自己所谓的泛用性，也就是我自己所可能会用的方式。对，那到时候反正每一次升级都会跟大家讲一下。目前我就是以拔印类的话，就是以伊格宁为主。对，伊格宁为主，然后阿尔德为辅，可是阿尔德也不见得会一直用，对，因为阿尔德的泛用性并没有像伊格宁这么的高，可是当然，看状况，好不好？对，然后因为我们的难度不是死而无憾，所以昆恩就比较没差了，对，因为昆恩的那个什么。吸收伤害在死而无憾才会很明显的出现，不然否则基本上就是打一下就破了，对，所以就没差。那接下来我点的就是攻击，我把攻击，这次把攻击有点起来了一些，因为现在等级不高嘛，27级，其实27级等级也算是不低了啦，对，可是就是尽可能的，就是把，对我会把一些的物理伤害也点出来了，对，那主要会以那个什么重攻击为主，对，反正就是先这样啦。我跟大家讲，就是我会慢慢的改变一下一些点法，其实我已经在改变了，对，就是试着，反正就自己试着好。玩起来再顺畅一点，对，然后把所谓的自己的觉得自己觉得好用的泛用性，就是不用调来调去的东西，对，用上，对，然后平衡一点。虽然说专注于也不错啦，对，专注提升也不错，可是就先这样吧。先这样吧。
Pollen on the leaves still. Someone picked the bloom. recently.
Another seeker of Pimpernel.
Another?
Gremist has sent countless young druids into the forest. They emerge drained, with a blank stare, and with no flower. And they never speak of what happened. I've asked Gremist to stop the folly. He looked at me and laughed. But the fun's over. One of our novices, Ramond, has failed to return. I've come to find him, alive or dead.
What do you know about this forest?
Not much. Funny, isn't it? A druid should know every tree, every bush. But even we know not to venture to some parts of the isle. We can subdue animals, but not monsters. And the word is, one has made its lair here.
A Leshen? An Axabron?
Sadly, I don't know. As I said, those who have entered do not speak of who or what they saw.
Listen, you're looking for a druid, I'm looking for a flower. Let's go in together.
Why not? I could use the help of a tracker. Lead the way.
Flower. No petals. Hoofprints, but a biped's.
魅魔，让我想到
No petals.
女魅魔。哇呀！
Footprints. Some fresh, others faded, all leading in the same direction.
Oh, no. Oh, stop, please. Haha. Oh, this is great. No, stop. Please. Stop it, that tickles. Two can play this game, you horny goat woman.
Unhand him, hellish creature. Ramond, step away from her.
Ah, calm down. I've not been harmed. I came here.
You don't know what you're saying. She's cast a spell on you.
Nonsense. I need no spell. These boys come here themselves. In fact, I must use magic to drive them away, make them go home. Only Ramond was nice, so I let him stay.
I see through your lies. Your wretched charm won't work on me. I shall kill you here and now, monster.
I don't see any reason to kill her. She's a monster, sure, but a sentient one, and basically harmless.
No such thing. Just as there's no dry water, no cold fire. But if you'll not help, very well. I shall tend to her myself.
I'd advise against it.
I will return, with one who does not carry a sword for show.
Why did you take my side? I'm afraid you'll be sorely disappointed. I don't generally couple with witches, especially not out of gratitude.
Can't think of another way you can repay me. I'm looking for Pimpernel. You know this forest. Maybe you could help me.
I shall take you myself. And you, Ramond, go pick some more violets. Just the indigo ones this time.
Indigo? You mean blue?
No, indigo is indigo. Men.
Why you need all these flowers?
Nosy, aren't you? Wait and see.
我们在诺维格瑞，见过女夜魔。对，那时候的女夜魔其实也并没有说伤害人类，但她最终只能选择离开。各位有印象吗？对，所以这时候我还是依旧会选择相信她啦。对，虽然说她是个妹子，也很漂亮，不过这不是重点，好吧？ 那如果他选择伤害人类的话，那就不一样喽。应该说，他如果选择伤害人，不是人类。
Bellflowers, violets, kingcups, pimpernels. I must pick some edelweiss.
对，他不伤害人其实还好，伤害人就不一样。
Take one, but no more. I've put a lot of work into making this cavern cozy.
到目前的记忆中，女夜模式都没有伤害人，所以就我也是选择OK， 好了，不讲了。接下来我们要去这里，贴过去吧，这个距离有点远。上来就遇到这家伙。华王了美安，感觉这里就是会有隐藏东西。对，酿酒厂，还有传送点。哦，独眼巨人。
Cyclops won't bother me anymore. Can look around peacefully now.
一进来，杰洛特就说了一句：“哇，他这个口臭真的是可以把我熏死。”哦，看起来是要自己酿酒哦，对。看起来是哦。
Distilling recipes. Parchment's a little faded, but legible.
再给你一次机会，给我按照步骤把麦芽浆丢进。哦，看来这个没错，应该是要我们自己酿出完美的酒。对，那它的意思就是说，按照步骤，把麦芽浆放进蒸馏器，点燃蒸馏器的火，将蒸馏器冷却，先到右边拉杆，再到左边。对，就这样而已。应该说，应该是就这样吧。酿酒日记，那头怪物哦，他还要我倒满，到边缘一口气喝完，他才 3段热苦，库存一把，是时候。太慢找了吧？啊，你太慢找了吧？老真69，他说不要把臭的真69。卖，寻找卖糖。应该在上面。
Got lucky. Bit of mash left.
It's lucky。我连杰洛特都说 lucky。存档一下，避免出错，好不好？来，我们先将那个放入蒸馏。
Here's where the mash goes, probably. Done.
并且点火。
Boil the mash. Ought to be enough. Time to cool it down.
哦，我觉得我读取一下。来再一次，因为刚刚我点太快了，对我点太快了。
Here's where the mash goes, probably.
就我刚刚点太快了。
Done. Now to boil the mash.
好等。对，我刚刚有必要先把它熄灭掉。
Ought to be enough. Time to cool it down.
先拉右边，再拉左边。
Well, well. Turns out I'm quite the distiller.
所以它的冷却的意思，将凝聚。哦，来，各位再一次。
His long search for Ciri led Geralt to conclude that Uma, the ugliest man alive.
好，各位抱歉，刚刚没有切好，对，没有读取到对的存档，所以这次没意外应该就 OK 了啦。
Here's where the mash goes, probably. Done. Now to boil the mash.
Oh, 一哥您竟然没有点到。
Ought to be enough. Time to cool it down. Well, well. Turns out I'm quite the distiller.
这样子应该就完成了，应该啦。来吧，回去看看。
Did everything you asked?
Phenomenal, my boy. So, Fridtjof, shall we begin?
The sooner the better. We've a long night ahead of us.
The ritual is only for members of the inner circle. Thus, my dear apprentice, you must wait outside. Under no circumstances must you enter. We shall begin your tutelage come morn.
Will you finally tell me what the ritual's about?
Nay. No one likes a matter. Suffice to say, it's a burning matter now. Shout!
哦，等到隔天。应该会自动跳那个时间才对。就是如果完成的话，
I must have another. That's good stuff.
Aye, as the base from Mosh Gordon and Spirit from Hail Hell. Good times, Fritjof. Good times. Finally, something other than damn potions and transmutations.
Guess the ritual's not over yet.
Good. I thought I told you to stay outside. Only druids are the inner circle.
Smirkle, Smirkle. Let the boy have some fun. He's earned it.
Fine. Pour yourselves on. Good. Let the lessons begin.
Drink hard and study hard. I like the idea.
Yeah. I call it stimulation and assimilation. First you stimulate, and then you assimilate. Shut down. Right. Let's start with ingesting toxins. Best approach, practice makes perfect.
I've practiced a lot already. Good thing.
I'll make learning my secret method easier. Look, you take the potion like this, and gulp.
Who said old age is a burden?
然后就喝，就这样。就这样。
What do you want now? I taught you all I know.
Gwent, ever play the game?
If your question is, would I be interested in playing you? The answer is simple. No.
Afraid of losing? I understand.
Very well. I draw your deck. Win. And I'll give you my best card.
这么烂的激将法，当然我们是有机会输的啦。对，因为我混沌牌嘛，我就是想什么牌组都想玩一下，所以这次我也要用怪兽卡，我要用怪兽卡跟他玩。对面是帝国。 知道你一定会放弃。他不打间谍卡对，他不打间谍卡，其实会有一点点小尴尬。哦，没关系。看来他没有间谍卡。对，他刚刚收回去2张后，应该是没有间谍卡。到目前他的牌数来看，他是没有间谍卡。那不好意思啊，这把我也是要赢了。
I believe you're ready to challenge Madman Lugos. I do wonder if he'll agree to play you for his Katakan.
密精灵。好，那我等一下就顺便切过去吧。
Telling you, Geralt, since you and Hjalmar defeated the ice giant together, I see you as one of our own.
I got the look of a Skelliger.
You've got the heart of an Uncrate.
The massacre during the feast. Know anything new?
Thanks to you and Ceres, we know who's responsible. It's enough for me.
Not gonna try to capture the berserkers?
They were but tools, Wolf. I'd rather sever the hand that wields the sword than merely break steel.
Your daughter. First woman to rule Skellige.
She'll be a good queen. Knows what she wants.
Yeah. So what does she want?
To unite all of Skellige's clans. A difficult task. No one has ever managed it. But Ceres is stubborn.
Thinking long term, then. Think she'll succeed?
She's got a powerful ally. In me.
You ever play Gwent?
Ha! Hermione taught me the rules and gave me a deck. Wish to play?
Let's play a quick round.
错，怪兽卡对怪兽卡，那究竟是他的怪兽卡比较强呢，还是我的怪兽卡比较强呢？
You're good. Know what, Wolf? I've this rare card here. Take it. It'll be of more use to you.
Thanks.
You might consider challenging a man in Caertrolda village. A worthy adversary, though a mere tailor. Justas his name.
All healed, wounds licked.
对，那我们就去下一个吧。混沌牌之旅开启。
You to sew these rags together for me.
The fabric's good, but the son of Nilfgaard?
Black One's banners, captured on the continent. Aim to lay him down on my floors.
Greetings.
Smooth seas this morn, as if the gods themselves were paying their respects to the great Conung Bran.
You a tailor?
I am. Only one in the Isles, most like.
Any chance you play Gwent?
Oh, aye. It's a great passion. Wanna play?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
来玩吧，嘿嘿，来找你就是为了玩混沌牌。我北方。哦，有一个稻草人。你没有间谍卡哦。我刚刚就是在等他打间谍卡，可是他看起来好像没有。我刚刚耗掉他一张巨龙。1，你输了，他已经放弃了。Victory！
Bravo! A grand win. Congratulations!
OK， 下一个。
Go see your friend Croc if you want to talk.
Just out of curiosity, why do they call you Madman?
Yeah! That's why.
Two clans on one island. Tough to be neighbors so near each other.
A neighbor is one who lives nearby, not one who stole half your home. The Oncrate seized our lands.
In the days of Harold the Cripple, that was 3 centuries ago.
Doesn't change the fact they had no right. I'll rid Art Skellig of Crack and his brood yet.
Gwent, Know the game?
The gulls shed off cliffs. Let's see your duck. It's been a dull day. We'll play for my Katakan.
Show me what you can do.
啊！你这个不打近战，你打远程？哦，他要放弃了。有连赢2场啊！我们耶奈法最后再打，是有原因的。哦，赢了！就你这个破牌主！
Say Lugos and don't even matter. Take my Katakan and sword off.
昆顿牌获胜 ，Victory！ 出发吧，去找老婆啦！来吧，不知道这次耶奈法又要拜托我们做什么事情了。
Always did know how to win friends.
I was provoked.
Saw it happen. Wanted to talk to me about something?
Amos Ipsis, a specialist on djinns. Heard of him? I found a tome he penned in the Emperor's library. Ipsis set off for Skellige one day and was never heard from again. I asked some of the local folk. Some here still remember him.
Why are you even interested? Djinns are dangerous sometimes, and malicious all the time.
I remember. But the advantages outweigh the risks. If I can tame a djinn, I shall gain incredible power. And that could be useful to us one of these days.
Nowhere to look for the mage and the djinn?
The locals say they last saw Amos's ship off the coast of Hindusfjord, just before a once-in-an-eon storm broke.
Doubt we'll find them then. Mage is probably fish food, and the djinn escaped.
Not necessarily. But even if it is so, I'll not give up without seeing some evidence. Will you help me? I've no gold to offer in reward, but I shall be ever so grateful.
Since you put it that way, fine. I'll help you.
Thank you. A boat awaits in the harbor. Come.
See, you managed to prepare everything already.
I have.
How could you possibly know I'd agree?
I didn't. Decided to risk it.
来看一下是什么东西。怪物词条20，结构生物已经有了。
Lead the way.
Just once, you might try to take the initiative.
Would you even let me?
It would depend on the situation.
Respect, Witcher. Priestess is a terrible cross with you. You and the sorceress both.
The ship carrying the Jinn sank somewhere in this area.
Not too precise as leads go.
I'll cast a spell on our boat. We'll know if there are any wrecks on the seafloor below us.
All right, let's get to work.
Mind if I take the helm?
I got a choice.
No.
我有选择吗？没有。
Getting in or not?
Not sure this Jinn thing's a good idea.
We managed to seize one before. Do you remember?
Of course. Dandelion almost lost his voice that time.
How lucky your exorcism saved it. It was poetic.
Yeah, how was I supposed to know that incantation meant begone and plow yourself?
You should have studied foreign languages.
Gonna keep bringing that up for the rest of my life.
Of course. Your last wish effectively assured it.
My wish was about us being together always, not about you mocking my every mistake.
Careful what you wish for. And when your wish is granted, you must accept it with all attendant circumstances.
Yeah.
And as for your missteps, I don't rightly see why I shouldn't laugh if they're amusing. There's something here, on the bottom. It's too deep here. You can't dive that long.
You underestimate me.
On the contrary. After all, I asked you for help. I'll cast a spell. It will slow your heart for a time. You can stay submerged longer.
Assad Eich Criede Rithorn.
Ready. Careful down there.
哦，老婆帮我们上，是不是？哎呀，没有问题。我跟你说，我也有杀人经，哦，老婆直接那个，你知道吗？就是直接那个叫什么？
How's it going?
Yeah, and you know I hate it when you read my mind.
Strictly speaking, I'm not reading your mind, but using telepathy. Besides, you've nothing to hide, right?
Wouldn't admit it if I did. Not the point.
See anything interesting?
A shipwreck and a cavern. I'll look inside.
完全没有呼吸了，你知道吗，各位？
Snapped masts, busted planks, and a whole swarm of drowners. Probably drawn by the corpses of drowned crew, then made their nest here. There's also a cloned Roman figurehead.
Not the right ship. Come back up.
哦，走错槽了。
to now?
Wherever the leads take us.
Say we find the Jinn. What'll you do? Ask for a beautiful house, and a palace, and a queen's crown?
Are we still talking about the Jinn, or have we moved on to a talking fish?
Doesn't much matter. Both make wishes come true. What would yours be?
You'll learn in due course. Something's here. Another wreck.
Let's see if our Jinn's down there. Found a wreck. It's been here a while. Wood's rotted.
Look around, but be careful. Look for something that might indicate it's the mage's ship.
Arrows stuck in the side, the kind Pharaoh folk use. Arrows stuck in the side, the kind Pharaoh folk use. Got something. A Skelliger's buckler. Clan Hamai symbols.
Donar's clan.
Donar was a babe in swaddling clothes when this buckler landed here. Yen, doubt any of these boats were the mages. These are old sunken longships.
Come back then. We must search elsewhere.
Got a chest. Really old. Must have fell off the wrecked longship.
Can you open it?
Hoping for pirate treasure.
I hope to find the Jinn. Try to open it.
Beautiful craftsmanship.
What do you have?
A war horn. Longship belonged to Clan Dimon.
You're getting better at this.
Go even quicker if you helped me down there.
I prefer to observe matters from up here, most definitely.
Yeah, like when we were looking for the Golden Dragon and an avalanche swept us off the trail. Me clinging to the remains of a bridge for dear life. You gripping my waist, admiring the view. Remember? Chasm below us was breathtaking. Rustling trees, a lazily flowing stream.
I remember, though I found myself admiring what I had right in front of me. Something strange about those rocks.
And there's something on the bottom. We'll see what it is.
See something?
Something doesn't do it justice. A huge crater, as if a meteorite landed here.
I must see it.
Diving in after all?
No, I should cast another spell. to see through your eyes. Now relax.
Aisu foltia bedem ein eichte illivaid.
That is no meteorite crater.
What is it then?
The effect of teleportation. A powerful force cut out a fragment of the seabed, rocks and everything lying within the teleportation zone.
Always claimed portals were dangerous.
I believe we're on the right track. Look for anything that might contain a djinn.
Fine.
Aisu foltia bedem ein eichte illivaid.
Silver, pearl-encrusted cutlery. Ship belonged to someone awfully wealthy.
Amos was no pauper. It could very well be his ship.
Something cut this basket exactly in half. Something cut this basket exactly in half. Transverse cut through the pelvis. Surgical precision. No conventional weapon could do this, but whatever cut the basket probably could. Transverse cut through the pelvis. Surgical precision. No conventional weapon could do this, but whatever cut the basket probably could.
哦，回去吧，因为我们已经找到了。
Only found half. Can you do anything with this?
I can use it to locate the other half, to within a dozen yards.
And once we find that, we should find the djinn.
Exactly. Ready? I'll take us there on the count of 3.
Oh, no, not another portal.
Stop whining. 1, 2...
最讨厌传送门的杰洛特。
3.
Said you were gonna go on 3.
I did. Look, we must search the area.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this djinn?
But you already know. A djinn's power is priceless to a mage.
That I know, but I also want to know how you plan to use it. Wouldn't go to these lengths if it wasn't something important.
You're right. It's important. Even very important. How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then return to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a djinn.
So that's it. This is about my last wish?
You asked that djinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
I get it. You want to know what'll happen if magic no longer binds us.
I want to know if when the djinn's magic is gone, if we've any magic left of our own.
Wondered that myself many times.
You see, we're just a step away from learning the truth. Come, let's search the ship.
好吧，既然是这样，我们走吧。
Seems Amos was quite the eccentric, asking the djinn to lift half his ship to a mountaintop.
He didn't necessarily. Djinns are inherently mischievous. This one might have granted his wish and perverted it in doing so.
In that case, I'd appreciate it if you didn't wish I'd disappear from your life.
I've yet to decide how to word it. We should explore the ship.
Interesting. Mystery of mysteries, Agnes of Glanville. Wonder what this means. Nice shoes. Looks like the impact with the mountain was so powerful it popped the wearer right out of them. Mage must have slept here. Wonder what this means. Blood. Someone was dragged across the deck. War left this mark when the ship suddenly tipped to one side. Nothing interesting here. Nothing interesting. Elemental Empires by Giambattista. Nothing interesting here. Nothing here. Yen, think you should see this.
What do you have? It's Amos. Looks exactly like the etching in the book. Except his head was intact there.
Think the Jinn did this to him?
No, it wouldn't attack its master. This looks rather like an unfortunate accident. When the storm broke, Amos must have uttered a wish like, "Take us away, anywhere, to a mountaintop, even." And the Jinn granted the wish literally. They had a hard landing. Amos was thrown off his feet and against the wall. The bookcase did the rest.
Always knew too much studying could kill you. If he died while being teleported, Seal might still be on him. Behold.
Bravo! Come to the deck. I've an idea.
Colds preserved the corpse. Died from head trauma. Bookcase cracked his skull. Must have been a hard landing atop this mountain.
Step back a bit.
What are you going to do?
Summon and tame the Jinn. It's not likely to be happy. Stand at the ready.
Tame Jinn, Rif Kaishta ein Gaia, Kaishta et Disglair, Gevired mi Castle.
Have a plan.
You must weaken him while I draw him into this.
去削弱他的力量。对，他是什么？忘记什么？够体节，削弱他是不是？
Care to trade places?
Just a bit more. I can feel his strength waning.
我砍死他。我避免意外啦，我避免意外。
Got you! Your master died before uttering his last wish. I cannot capture you. We can struggle like this for eternity, or I can release you. If you do one thing for me. Do you see the spell that binds us? Only a djinn can remove another djinn's spell. Remove this one and you'll be free. You are free.
No.
Storm's over.
Yes. It's all over.
Maybe we should sit. You look a bit dazed.
I'm not, but we can sit.
Feel any better?
I told you, I'm fine.
Don't need to play tough for me. That was a hard fight. Maybe not as hard as the last time we tamed a djinn, but still.
No comparison, I'm afraid. Half of Rind suffered then. Now I'm merely a bit tired. Thank you for coming, Geralt. I'd have had a much harder time of it on my own.
Well, never could say no to you.
Perhaps that will change now.
Feel anything? That anything's different?
I expected... I don't know what I expected, actually. A bit of vertigo, perhaps. I thought you'd become a stranger to me. That I'd look at you and not feel a thing. But it's not like that at all. Nothing's changed.
Jinn might have cheated us after all.
Why?
Because I don't feel that anything's changed either. I love you, Yen.
And I love you.
Wow, what was that?
It can't be all sweetness and light.
Strange. Done that so many times. But it felt like our first kiss to me.
It was, in a way. Besides, once you say I love you, a kiss has to taste differently.
What's next? Got any plans?
That depends what you mean. We must find Ciri, and then defeat the hunt. But I doubt the world will end if we sit here a while. My, it's lovely.
Think the spirits of Skellige favor us. horseback.
A horse would never make it down that mountain.
What now?
Well, I'm due to appear in Vizima. We must report to the Emperor after all.
Ciri's our concern, and only ours.
At heart, perhaps. But it's not what we agreed with Emir. We must see him.
If we gotta, we gotta.
We wouldn't have known Ciri had returned if not for the Emperor and his agents. It's the least we can do.
There.
It was very nice. Let's not ruin it by hashing out the details.
I'm going to see the Baron. Collect Uma from him, then we'll ride for Kaer Morhen.
I shall join you as quickly as I can.
See you, Yen. Take care of yourself.
Geralt?
Found something that might belong to you. That skull some sort of accessory? If so, you've changed your style a bit.
It's a weapon.
Don't remember ever seeing you with that.
It's as you said. I've changed my style.
So, feel any different after our encounter with the Djinn?
Yes. Now I feel regret.
Mean to say that...
That I regret we didn't try that earlier. Much earlier.
Think we would have argued less?
Quite the opposite. But the other moments would have been more intense as well. Moments like this.
Ever think about the past? About your time with the Hunt?
At times, I'm amazed we survived. Eredin's not usually one to leave witnesses behind.
That's just it. He didn't. Lost my memory when I escaped the Hunt.
Ah, yes. Your famous amnesia.
You didn't have it?
For a short time only. Once the Emperor's mages got their hands on me, my memory quickly returned.
When the Hunt had you, hope they didn't hurt you.
Even if they did, I've no memory of it. The whole time's but a string of phantom images. Blood and fire. A wild chase through different worlds. All shrouded in fog. Though I do remember you coming for me. Trading your life for mine. I hadn't the chance to thank you then.
You'd have done the same for me.
I'm touched by your certainty. But you've yet to tell me how you escaped them.
Wouldn't mind knowing that myself. There are times I remember rushing forward, Red Riders around me. Next thing I know, I'm in the woods at the foot of Kaer Morhen. That's it. What did Eredin want from you exactly?
The same thing he wanted from you. You don't recall?
Draw a blank on most of my time with him.
We were bait, Geralt. Both of us. Eredin believed Ciri would come for us sooner or later and he would capture her. Fortunately, she didn't fall for it.
How do you go from being the Emperor's hostage to being his ally?
One day, the door of my cell opened, and instead of seeing the usual officer, I saw Emir. He promised to release me and grant me free reign of the Imperial Treasury, provided I did what he asked.
He told you about Ciri, and you accepted his offer. Why?
Shared aims make for strange bedfellows. I knew I had to find Ciri before Eredin did, and if any man had the power and the means to help me, it was the Emperor. Besides, once all's said and done, he is her father.
Why didn't you look for me after you'd recovered your memory and your freedom?
I assumed you would recover quickly and find me first.
You had mages to help you. I was on my own.
Well, not entirely. Besides, I knew you'd fled the Hunt. Eredin would never have let you go. He'd erased my memory, but you escaped. It was wholly possible he hadn't had the chance with you. And there were your Witcher mutations. I expected they'd stave off any serious injury.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
原来如此啊！哦 ，OK， 那么下一集看来咱们就是要去找这个丑陋的英雄婴儿了。对，那这个就下一集的事情啦。今天这一集就先到这吧，谢谢大家观看。喜欢我的影片，帮我按赞加订阅。什么想看的游戏在下方留言告诉我，有就要去玩。那我们就下期见，大家啵啵。